hush it, get your tea and your popcorn because this is going to be another good one. So, this is an unambiguous Black woman. Her username is Golden Serenity. So, I find it interesting that her username is Golden, seeing as she does not have a golden skin tone. So, I mean, maybe her name is Golden for some other reason, but that's interesting. That's the first thing I noticed. So, her username is Golden Serenity. And as a prank, she wanted to play a prank on her friend, who is this ambiguous looking woman here. And the little baby is this girl's daughter. So, she was trying to play a prank on her friend by putting Nair in this baby's hair.
Go to pull out a minute on them. And what? Go ahead, bro. No, you do not. No, you. Auntie is fucking stupid, bro. What the fuck? Go to. I'm at the be not that stupid. You is not that retarded. That's not even cool, bro. Wow. That's a. Wonder why I stay like that? It's pulling her hair out. Cause now we about to have to fight for real. I'm stop touching her, bro. Go to move. Move. I don't give a fuck. You making me mad. You're making me mad. Go to please. Okay, I'm so sorry. Please back up. Please back up. Please back up. No, she don't need her hair braided. Bro, what the freak? I'm sorry. A ball slot. You just glue it back in. No, it'll be good. Stupid. Like, it's no. Why did you acting? I thought it was conditioner. Yeah, I'm like having a ball spot in her head. Move. Go there. Move, bro. I'm trying to show you where. Move. It was that. Move. It was move. It was trying to show you the stuff. I'm sorry. Hey, bro, get the fuck out of my face. Go. Get the fuck out of my face. I'm trying to see where it's at. I know that was a conditioner. I'm trying to see. Bro.
First, y'all irritating as fuck and y'all weird as fuck and y'all getting on my nerves. Y'all bringing up a 2-year-old video. This video was 2 years ago. Y'all can stop texting me. Y'all can stop commenting on my videos and y'all can stop DMing me because it was a wig that I cut. I cut a wig, as y'all can see right here. Boom, cut. Then I lathered in this soap, real good so it could look like it was her hair. Yeah, a prank. That's how a prank go. Right. Then I put it on top of her head and I massaged it in, right? So it could look like I was shampooing her hair, right? And then let the prank begin. I put the Nair beside me or in front of us so it could look like that's what I used. But y'all, I didn't use the Nair. That's hence the word prank. That's why it was a prank. And then I keep seeing people saying a bald spot. Her hair was parted right there. So, I mean, you could see her little yellow scalp, but she's not bald. Her hair wasn't falling out. It was a wig that I cut. And y'all can stop texting me.
So this girl came back and explained how she cut a wig and then she like covered it in soap and pretended that it was Nair to try to pull the prank on her friend who is the mother. So even though the little baby's hair didn't actually fall out and it was a prank, I find it interesting that people love coming onto this YouTube channel and saying, Exoticals United, you're laughing at people's traumas. You're making light of people's traumas. This unambiguous Black woman right here knows that a lot of women with type 3 hair have trauma around people pulling our hair, around people putting Nair in our hair. I personally have had people put Nair and relaxers in my shampoos before. So she knows that we have trauma around people trying to destroy our beauty. And so, even if it is a prank, what's the difference between her doing that versus somebody making a prank on a dark skinned Black woman using colorism, texturism, featureism, and racism? So, this aligns with my talking point again. Do you see how they can dish it out, but they can't take it back? So, like, if you're an exotical, if you ever make a joke and call somebody darky or blacky or whatever, those are fighting words, right? So it's funny how there are all these boundaries that unambiguous women will give you, even when it comes to pranks and jokes. They have all these different boundaries. You can't say certain words. You can't use words like nappy. You can't say that they're nappy headed or anything like that. But then when it comes to you and your children, it's fair game. Everything is fair game. So you can pretend that you're ripping out an innocent child's hair because it's not a big deal. It's okay to utilize this woman's baby and pretending to basically abuse a baby, pretending to make an innocent child suffer so that you can get an emotional reaction from your friend. And let's talk about the psychology behind people who do pranks as a way to emotionally exploit you. Have you ever noticed that if you're a very emotionally calm and regulated person, you always have those people around you who are secretly jealous or who secretly they want to get you riled up and they don't know how. And so they will try to use the things that you care about. They'll try to use people that you care about. And then later on, they'll make an excuse like, oh, it was just a joke. I was just kidding. I was just pretending to rip out your child's hair. I was just pretending using your texturism trauma to rip out an innocent child's hair. She doesn't know if that little baby has ever had kids at school pull her hair. She doesn't know if her friend, this exotical woman right here, she doesn't know if she's ever had people pull her hair or put Nair or relaxer or try to chop her hair off at school. And so I find it interesting how she is strategically utilizing the traumas of the group that she comes from. And she's specifically using texturism trauma as a way to do a prank so that she can get views on social media. And then people will hypocritically talk crap about the Exoticals United channel saying, well, you're talking about people's trauma or you're making light of people's trauma. You're making money off trauma. Is this girl right here not doing the same thing, if not in an even more extreme way by using children? And by purposely going out of her way, putting the soap on her hair and everything to make sure that her friend gets riled up. And then she tried to come back and she got mad because a lot of people were like messaging her saying, "Hey, this you guys are taking it too far." So not only does she not apologize for the prank going too far, but she then goes on to basically say, "Oh, this is from a long time ago, like you guys are taking it too seriously." Isn't it funny how they can dish it out, but they can't take it back? So when I say on my channel, hey, you're taking these things too seriously, then people will say, well, it's not funny. You know, texturism, colorism, featurism, all this other stuff is not funny. But then if I show a clip like this, do you see how that same empathy is not granted? So this is why I say never cape for women who wouldn't cape for you. And also, people who do a lot of pranks, especially extreme pranks, usually those people are very mentally ill. They're very desperate for attention. Like, you know, those guys on TikTok and YouTube, they do pranks about like him cheating on you or something. Like, he'll show himself in the bed with a woman with lingerie or some crazy crap like that. It's like, you're doing all of these insane, crazy things for attention. And usually, when a person does a prank, it's because there's a part of them that actually wants to do what they did in the prank. Like, have you ever noticed that? Like, those guys on YouTube who do pranks of cheating, usually those guys actually do end up cheating on the woman, or they actually do want to cheat on her. And so I believe that when people are joking with you or when they're pranking you and stuff, usually whatever they're joking about, there is a piece of them that actually believes in what they're doing. There is a piece of them that actually wants to cut off your hair. There is a piece of them that actually wants to abuse your child. Because also, how would that person even know how to prank you? Usually, if a person is doing a prank that gets you emotionally riled up, the way that people do pranks is they will ask you, what are your insecurities? What are your biggest fears? You know, they'll ask you questions and stuff, and then they will purposely try to use your emotional vulnerability to do the pranks. And so that's another sign of a sociopathic type of person. I know that I would never use colorism, texturism, and featureism and do a prank against my friends who are dark skinned black women. I would never hire somebody or, you know, say something colorist towards them and then be like, oh, well, that's just a joke. Well, no, if she's sensitive in that area or if she gets riled up about colorism, why would I use colorism specifically against someone who's my quote unquote best friend? But then we've got a woman right here who is not only using texturism, but she's also using an innocent child who had no consent and who did not volunteer to be a part of this prank. And she's using this as a way to get her friend emotionally riled up about her daughter. Also, she can get some social media views. Also, she can get some fame because she can't attain that fame on her own. She can't attain the notoriety on her own. She can't be known for her own beauty, or at least that's how she feels. And so she would rather destroy a child's beauty as a prank in order to get the attention. So do you see the social climbing strategy that she's using? Do you see the messed up social climbing strategy? Usually it's the people who they can't get attention for their own special qualities. You know, they can't get attention for their own personality. They don't have personalities or anything like that. So the only way that they have personality is by making fun of you specifically, by doing extreme pranks on you or doing all these extreme, crazy, outlandish things just to get attention. One of the comments says, we would be fighting, unfortunately, in front of my child because she's wrong and jealous of the beautiful baby. Exactly. She knows this unambiguous black woman most likely knows that there are a lot of older black women who are jealous of children, like that little girl right there. So to even make a joke out of being jealous of a child or being careless and neglectful with a child, and then saying it's a prank, and then you're doing it all for social media attention, this is insane. So, this is another example of women using bad social climbing mechanisms to gain attention. Have you ever noticed that? Like, instead of simply coming on YouTube, like if you want to be famous on TikTok, if you want to be famous on YouTube, you can do hair tutorials, you can do makeup tutorials, you can talk about the things you care about. You can have a faceless sociology and psychology channel like this one. But no, you bypassed all of those options and you chose to get a child without that child's consent and have her participate in a prank against her mother, all so you can get attention. I'm noticing this pattern where it's like you've got these women, they're coming online. I'm ugly. I hate my 4C hair. This is how you can be ugly. And now you've got this woman who wants to pretend like she's ripping out her friend's daughter's hair just for fun. Yet I'm the sociopath. Yet we're the colorist, texturist, and featurist, yet we've got women who are utilizing children for pranks just so they can get some views, just so you can get an emotional reaction from your friend. This whole thing, it's like a form of a humbling tactic. This is like an extreme way of humbling someone. Like these guys that do the pranks, the cheating pranks and stuff, or, the people who do the pranks where they're abusing your kids, people who hit you and punch you, and they do all these crazy things. All of that is just a very extreme humbling tactic. That person has an extreme inferiority complex. That's an extreme form of negging. This woman is actually negging her friend. She's negging her light skinned friend by doing this. She just woke up this morning and she's like, let me just get on my friend's nerves today. Let me figure out a way to try to get on her nerves. Let me pretend that her daughter is going bald because of me. And so this is why I don't even hang out with people who have this mindset of, I want to prank everybody. Like, I don't have time for that level of emotional immaturity because these types of people, they want to cross your boundaries. That's their only way that they can get attention. I don't know if you've met men like that before or had friends like that where they want to cross your boundaries. That's how they get attention. These are the types of boys in junior high that slap your butt or, they sexually assault you. Oh, it's just a prank. They do crazy stuff as a way to get attention, but it's really like just a way that they want to cross your boundaries because they know that in the real world, they could never measure up to you or that's how they feel. And so they will utilize humor and jokes and pranks and negging as a way to humble you and get you emotionally dysregulated. They want you to get worked up because they're thinking to themselves, I've never seen her get worked up. I've never seen her cry. I've never seen her get sad. I've never seen her get angry. Let me try to think of something just to see how she reacts. You know, those people where they like to test people? That's exactly what this woman's personality type is. She's the type that wants to test people, but she wants to test people so that she can get followers, though. And then you've got people who have the audacity to say that I'm clout chasing off of talking about stuff like this. And that the exotical channels are clout chasers. So we're the clout chasers, yet you've got people on the internet who are using innocent children in order to do pranks. And they're pretending to actually abuse those children utilizing texturism, which has a horrible history. That's no different than like if a white guy were to do a slave joke or something with his black girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like some things are actually not pranks. And so I feel like a lot of people they hide behind pranks and they hide behind jokes when they're really subconsciously they're trying to humble you. They're trying to feel powerful over you for a moment. That's why people do stuff like this. It's because for that moment that you're emotionally dysregulated, for that moment that you're upset, for that moment that you get mad after they use texturism against you, that's the one moment when they finally feel powerful. That's the one moment in their life when they finally feel relevant. It's when they got your attention. It's really just an extremely desperate way of getting your attention. It's an extremely desperate way of finally feeling that social power that they've always wanted to feel. That's why people do extreme pranks. And then, once you tie in the social media part, they're also hoping to get paid off of your suffering as well. They're hoping to get paid off of the fact that you are emotionally dysregulated. But what do you ladies think? Have you ever played a colorism, texturism, or featureism joke on your unambiguous friend using her children? Have you ever done that? Because I've never done that. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.